Sometime in the last couple months, I did a YouTube short ranking my 10 Xerjoff fragrances that I own. And those types of videos are so fun because it allows me to quickly showcase my taste within a particular collection of fragrances. But I try to do it in a minute, which is not enough time to really expound on my reasoning. So that's what this video is. We've actually done a couple of these longer form videos before. The other two long forms we did were Tom Ford and Amouage. I'll try to link those maybe below the like button if you haven't seen them. So what I'm doing in this video is I'm expounding on the ranking that I did for my Xerjoff fragrances in that 1 minute long YouTube short. As I feel like I have to say for videos like this, I don't own every fragrance ever made. I don't own every Xerjoff fragrance ever made. There will be Xerjoff fragrances that you have tried, that you might even own, and that you probably love that I don't have, I haven't tried, or I don't really like. It's that simple. So I would like to kindly ask you to refrain from comments like this.
Come on, bro, where's Starlight? Seriously? So you're just gonna leave out Lyra? Are you even a real collector? Dude, Tony Iommi? Monkey Special? How is it not here? Oh my goodness, Mefisto Gentiluomo? I can't believe you left it out. How is More Than Words not your number one? Unsubscribing.
I think you get the picture. So let's dive right into my top 10 and only 10 Xerjoff fragrances. At the 10th spot, we have Casamorati 1888. First thing I'll say is, this is a lovely fragrance. It is this beautiful, sweet, ambery, warm carnation fragrance. Carnation is this spicy type of floral note that was used a lot in men's fragrances back in like the 90s and the 80s. It does carry a little bit of this old-fashioned feel, but it's actually done in a pretty contemporary way, pairing it with this beautiful, opulent, ambery type sweetness. It definitely smells a little bit red, kind of the way the bottle looks. The reason why this is my number 10, it's just really particular. I have to be in the mood to wear this, and I'm not always in the mood to pull this off. This is a really elegant fragrance. I would typically save it for when I want to dress up very, very nice, going out in the evening, when I want to have a little bit more of a softer scent personality to complement my personality, but one that is very much present and posh. Every now and then I might want to look at this, but usually there's others I look for instead. So this is my number 10, that is 1888. At the 9th spot, lovely smelling fragrance, but just a little bit basic to me. This is called Commandante. Unfortunately, my wife does not like this fragrance. This fragrance falls into the type of profile that she does not like to smell on me. It is powdery, fresh, sweet. That's not her thing. Now, I happen to enjoy it, but just enjoy it. I don't love this fragrance. It reminds me of something like Le Male. It's kind of in that vein. It almost has a little bit of a mainstream appeal to it. Now, the way it comes together, it smells of quality for sure, but the overall product, the scent profile, the result you get here does not smell like a niche fragrance, does not smell like the price you would pay for this. Is that a bad thing? No. Obviously, you're going to be the judge of what smells amazing to you and what is ultimately worth the price. But for me, I don't know if I could absolutely recommend going out and buying this, just because you can buy some other designer fragrances that are going to have quality that is relatively indistinguishable in the air compared to this, so you might as well just go for those. It is this kind of sweet, honey, fresh, powdery fragrance that, again, there's nothing about it I dislike. I like the scent, it's just not very special. That is Commandante. At the 8th spot, this one's going to leave a few of you guys feeling a little bit sore, but it's okay. It's not that serious. This is Alexandria II. Yeah, some of you guys might be a little bit appalled to see this ranked so low, but from what I've talked about thus far, even at the number 10, I like the number 10. So I like the number 8. It is this sweet, powdery, vanilla kind of rose oud. It does remind me of like the Armani Code DNA with oud, and perhaps just a little bit higher quality. It seems that a lot of people like this for its performance and for its compliment factor. Those are some of the most common comments I see about this fragrance. Oh man, it just lasts all day. I love it. Gosh, it got me so many compliments last night. I love it. I don't see a whole lot of people saying, man, Alexandria II just smells phenomenal to me. If that's you, go ahead and let me know what you think down in the comments. But the performance and compliment factor, which I can attest to, don't do it enough for me. That is Alexandria II. Good stuff. At number 7, we have a beautiful spicy fragrance that is perfect for the transition seasons, especially fall, but also works well in winter. This is called Ivory Route. Very spicy, dry, sweet, warm, a little bit dusty. It mostly smells a little bit like cinnamon or allspice. It kind of has that vibe. The sandalwood in here is more on the dusty side of things. It's very simple, but it's nice. It doesn't remind me of exactly anything I have in my collection. So I do find myself reaching for this a little bit more on the right evening. That is Ivory Route. One of my favorite incense-based fragrances I have in my collection, and one of the most unique ones, at least in my experience. This is from the 1861 collection. This is Zefiro. Hardly ever talked about in comparison to some of its brothers in this collection. This is kind of a dry, wispy, smoky, fresh incense. Olibanum, I believe, is kind of the main ingredient here, which lends kind of a fresher type of smoky incense quality. It doesn't smell like fire, more of a dusty type of air. And there's this beautiful, bubbly, boozy quality, almost like a champagne or a white wine or something. Something about it is a little bit uplifting, but it is a pretty calming, smooth, elegant incense fragrance. Definitely get yourself a sample. I'm going to link to a sample of this and all of the Xerjoffs down in the description. That is Zefiro. And I know many of you were expecting the hype beast. When is the hype beast coming? Will it be number 1, number 2? It shouldn't be any lower than number 3, right?
Well, for me, it's number 5, and that's fine.
This is Naxos, relatively new to my collection. Naxos is a fragrance that has grown on me a little bit. When I first tried a sample of this like 5 years ago, I hated it. It actually smelled sickly sweet. It was medicinal, and I didn't like that. This is known to be a sweet, kind of clean, soapy honey tobacco. Very rich, pretty dang powerful, at least my formulation here is. But it has this kind of cleaner like vibe. I think there's some citruses in here that when mixed with the honey, it's almost like bathroom cleaner or like a cough drop. I do get that vibe. It's a lot to smell, especially up close, but when you let it live and breathe in the air around you, it's actually really nice. It smells very pleasant, it smells very unique, it smells very interesting. So I do like it, but I think I could say it's a little bit overhyped. That is Naxos. At number 4, this is a lovely fragrance. This is a classic from the house, from the Shooting Stars collection. This is Uden. Uden is known to smell a little bit like a niche version of a couple Chanel fragrances. One of them is Allure Homme, and some people even say a little bit of Allure Edition Blanche. I kind of get both of those in this fragrance. It's almost like both of them in one, in a way, but it is its own thing. It has rum, it has lemon, this creamy vanilla vibe, a little bit woody perhaps. It's elegant. I remember wearing this to a summer wedding during the day. It was really hot outside, so I was a little bit hesitant because I thought it might be too sweet, but it actually did okay. I didn't put on too much, maybe 3 sprays at the most. We were mostly outdoors and it worked beautifully, especially as it dried down into the evening. I was just feeling really elegant that day. I'll never forget that. So good memories definitely contribute to my ranking of Xerjoff Uden. It's lovely. My wife loves it. All is well. Let me know if you enjoy it yourself. At number 3 is a fragrance that the more I smell it, the more I love it. In fact, I just wore this last night. This was a fragrance that was a little weird to me when I first tried it, mainly because it was not what I expected it to be. But once I started to accept it for the way it is, I think it is a beautiful fragrance. Obviously, it's one of my top favorites from the house, and I think it's gonna stay that way for some time. This is 40 Knots, another one from the JTC or Join the Club collection. Phenomenal fragrance. This is niche perfumery if you're asking me. If you want a comparison, it smells a little bit like Dior Ombre Nuit. I definitely get that vibe. I haven't smelled that fragrance in a long time, but it is one that has stayed in my mind and I do enjoy it. I just don't have it. But this is honestly a little bit stronger, a little bit more powdery perhaps. It has this slightly aquatic freshness, very, very slight, that Ombre Nuit doesn't have. But this is not an aquatic fragrance, even though there's a little bit of a nuance in there, but it's mostly an ambery, powdery, sweet, woody fragrance with very slight aquatic touches. And it's quite powerful. It will fill the space around you very easily. It will last a long time, at least it does for me. It smells really classy. I love the vibes that I get when I wear this and I'm walking outdoors. There's a breeze. I love the way it smells in the air around me. That is what truly resonates with me more than anything, more than what someone else might say, more than how long it lasts. It's the vibe that I get. It's that inexplicable feeling that really makes a fragrance special for me, and this nails that. That is 40 Knots. Let me know if you enjoy it. This is Mefisto, the original. Now, I know I mentioned the Gentle Uomo Flanker at the beginning of this video. I love that fragrance. I might even like it a little bit more than this. I just don't have it. One day, perhaps I will. But for now, Mefisto is wonderful. I think it's a workhorse, but it's one that is special. It has something special about it. It does smell a little bit like Silver Mountain water from Creed, but it does set itself apart in some ways. I think it's more accessible, a little bit less weird than Silver Mountain water, which some people say has this inky metallic feel. I don't get much of that here. This is green, alpine fresh, very cooling, a little bit musky, maybe citrusy, and I actually get decent performance out of this. It's a fresh fragrance that I can throw on at the start of the day, and I know it'll take me at least through half the day, no problem, and I'll be smelling really just fresh, clean, but with this interesting vibe to it. A little bit different than your average designer freshie for sure. Mefisto is my number 2. Really dig this stuff. And some of you guys may have already clicked off the video by now because you already know what my number 1 spot is. I'm not going to waste any more time. From the 1861, this is Renaissance. This is still one of my absolute favorite niche fresh fragrances, period, to wear for the warm weather. It is citrus and mint based, but it's shrouded by musk and amber. So the muskiness smooths everything over. You don't get a bright, sharp, mouth-watering citrus. It's definitely fresh. It's definitely kind of fruity smelling, but it's covered. You can't quite get to it. It kind of loses a little bit of the effervescence and the tart nature that a citrus can have because of the musk. That might not sound amazing to you, but don't worry, that mint is still there to keep it nice and fresh. And what shrouds it, that musky ambery quality, as I mentioned, is what allows it to have staying power. This fragrance sticks around on my skin all day without question. It's one of those fragrances that if I need good longevity, I'm talking 9, 10 plus hours, if I need that, which I don't always need that, but if I do, I know I can rely on it with this. If it didn't last that long, I would still love the scent because it's beautiful to me. But functionally speaking, practically speaking, if I need that, it is a tool that I can reach for, but it does not actually make me like it. I love the scent. I love the way it makes me feel. That is Renaissance. That's my number 1. All right, once again, if you have yet to try any of these Xerjoff fragrances, I'm going to link them down in the description, and there will definitely be a discount code to save some money if you're interested. Let me know which one of these are your favorites from your collection. And I know what I said at the beginning. I know many of you guys are still going to list your favorites that I don't have down in the comments, and that's totally fine. Please tell me what you love, but please don't tell me what I should have. I'll have what I have when I have it, and I will gladly share it with you guys. There's a lot of great fragrances I still have yet to discover and or add to the collection, so give me some slack. I'm human just like you. But thank you so much for tuning in. Peace. I'll see you in the next one.